Hi everyone, welcome to another dream analysis video. I'm actually recording this pretty early in the morning my time, so I might whisper a little bit. Hopefully I still come out clear on my mic here. But I feel like there's quite a few of you. This isn't the first time I've been stuck awake. Like I just don't even feel tired. I know my mother has communicated to me that she's been feeling this way a couple days in a row. I'm already at a couple days in a row, so I feel like there might be a few of us a couple days in a row. So I'm kind of doing a dreams analysis reading because I want to see, one, why we're still up, and two, I feel like there might be a second one that comes through in terms of the theme of those of us who've been dreaming about eyes. So I haven't had it recently, but I caught myself thinking about it again, where I had a dream where I look over the edge. And it takes 2-3 seconds for my brain to acknowledge that there's a huge brown eye looking back at me, and it's the eye of an orca whale. So I just see the black of its skin, and then the brown, the deep brown of its eye, and then the white of its eye. And that's enough to freak me out, and I wake up. So, but I feel like some of you's drawn to this reading either have eyeballs, eyes prominent in your dream recently, or dreams. It might be in your fashion, right? The seeing eye jewelry. You might be wearing that, and for some reason you're drawn to that in your dream, or you feel like you are being watched in your dream. So like security cameras, just a sense of like a crowd watching you, but maybe you never kind of see the eyes, or it's kind of like spaceshipy HAL, was it HAL 2000, the cyborg eye? There's also that movie where sort of the cyborg eye, and it watches the girl that it has trapped in the home. So we'll see. Well, there's gonna be some noise out the top. I'm gonna drop the charms, see where they fall. Then we'll pull some companion tarot, and we'll see if we get two groupings. But definitely, I'm doing a dreams analysis purposefully on why aren't we dreaming? Like why can't we sleep? I feel wide awake. I don't feel drained, and I haven't felt drained. I was fine energy all day today, but I just can't seem to release enough energy to actually get to sleep. So I'm going to go ahead and do the charms. Sorry, they're just discarding some. Okay. I love interacting with the angels and our soul energies, but sometimes we can be quite picky and stubborn. Just very matter of fact, right? Of the message that wants to come through. So I'm just kind of seeing when and where they want to drop the charms and which ones. Got a little bit more shifting happening, so I'm just going to wait until, nope, it doesn't want it over there. Oh, here it comes. Oh, there we go. Yep. Okay. I'm just going to fix these up. Look at the mess of charms, just all in one area. I don't know if I've uploaded a video yet for all of you where this scenario has happened. And didn't I just say there's a bunch of us, like, we just cannot sleep? Like, what's going on here? And eyes on us, right? Look at all these eyeballs, all these charms. Okay. I want to see, that's discarded. Okay, we got a couple getting crowded here on the yes. So these charms, like I said, there might be two readings here, so these charms might be splitting. I do just adjust my charms so I can tune in as well as make sure I'm getting a clear sense of how they're grouping and which ones they want to touch. Okay, this one definitely wants to touch both, so I'm just going to move it up a bit. I have room for my kitty cat here. Okay. Oh. You know what? I'll put a little picky over there. Okay, so let's get into the tarot cards and see if we get one group. Like I said, there's a reason why I get feelings or start thinking about, like I said, the recurring dream that I haven't been having. So I haven't been dreaming. Still came to my mind. So the feeling of being watched, actually seeing eyeballs in our dreams, and the group of us that are staying awake. So this will be fun to have this journey with you guys because, like I said, both scenarios are me. So that's what I've been drawn to. So let's see what kind of collective learnings we have here together. And I just realized I was shuffling off camera. I'm not sure why I did that. Okay. I don't like when they make me fight the card sometimes, but maybe that's why either the tightness or the struggle might be part of the story we're going to get here. Or maybe that's how you feel in your dream. Those of us that are dreaming, maybe there's a tightness here. Or maybe you wake up with a tightness in your chest. Like I say, as soon as my brain realizes it's an orca that close to me, I just wake up in a pretty hot sweat. So it's definitely a fear, a tightness of a fear hitting me there. Okay, so just got a couple more that they're drawing my attention to, and they just dropped them here. They just hid them, poking out the side now. So yeah, difficulty on grabbing every single one of those cards. So I'm gonna presume and make maybe a prediction that this is going to be our eyes, because I keep looking over here when I talk about the eye dream being watched and difficulties. So maybe we're going through a difficulty in our life right now, and that's why it's trying to turn our eye to the difficulty that we're doing. I'll keep the cards close in case I feel I need to go a little deeper to clarify what the dream analysis is telling us. And this will be our group of why the heck are we still awake? I just want to see how they want to split the charms. These four, I don't know if you can feel it or see it, but I just feel like there's a natural kind of arch to these four and a kind of a natural gap here. So these kind of following the arrow, right? Heart, crab, and then follow the arrow to shoot off over here to the messages from ourselves as to why we're having the dream here. So it's not even our angels that are coming in to answer are looking at ourselves. It's our soul. So in my case, if I stick to my orca, that visit from that big scary orca that every time I see it, I freak out. I'm being scared by my own soul coming to visit me and deliver me a message. So, apply the message from yourself, from your own soul to your specific being watched, the sense of eyes on you. It makes sense that our soul is watching us, right? Our soul is in charge of our soul path. So maybe we're deviating off our soul path here, or maybe we're starting, maybe we reached a fork in the road and we made the right decision, and they're coming in to say that to us. You've conquered being stuck at a standstill, being stuck at that fork in the road, stuck on that decision, and here you go. Whether you went left, right, the decision was right. You started off on that path. So I'm already talking about all this. Oop. So I'm gonna go over there. So unfortunately, you know what? We're wide awake anyway, so I guess we can wait. Where are we going? We're not going to bed anytime soon. Okay. So I think I'm actually going to go the way I was already talking in terms of the charm story here. So just to move this out of the way for a second, we have my tiny heart here on the past is having impact on you. I'm coming right from doing a past life group community reading that I'm also uploading. So you may be too. That might be why we're all awake. Maybe our past lives, maybe our curiosity of our past life is keeping us awake. But we're connected here. Some of you are following me over to this reading. Or those of you who didn't watch the past life reading, maybe the one that I upload on the same date. Check that out. Maybe you're in those groups and you just missed the reading. Or we're going to get the message of how a past life lesson, so our soul knows that. Our soul knows what we've been through. Maybe they're coming to us to say, hey, refocus on this lesson because you need to conquer it this lifetime. So I have a few hearts, but this is what I call my tiny heart, because it's just a teeny tiny little solid charm here, and it's only sitting on the past. So I'm gonna connect this to a relationship, a love-based connection. So that's anything that is a deep love, a relative, a partner, a best friend, a very deep connection, a love connection with someone. So a past, either the immediate past or a past life. So relationships from a past life or an immediate relationship. So maybe maybe that was the fork in the road that I just talked about. Maybe your standstill was, do I stay in this relationship? Do I leave? Or do I continue to hold on to the feelings and the impact it had on me emotionally and physically? Or do I start refocusing on myself, making sure I feel good and I look good and, I rebuild my confidence. So that could be the impact story here as well. So we have the love from the past. And then with this charm, we have the start of a new. That's why it's tiny as well, because it's just giving birth. So I was just talking about building self-confidence. So that could be why, right? You're just starting to love yourself again. So we have a message from your soul. So self-esteem after a relationship. But it also could be either you just started. So maybe you're out there dating. Maybe you have just done that next milestone, like we are boyfriend, girlfriend, or we are engaged. So sort of that newness. We just moved in, we just bought our first house. And it's a step that plants a seed for the future. So whatever this newness that you're ready for, that we're all ready for, we've already put in the work. So I would say if this is a past hurt, whether a past life or current, present day, past hurt from a relationship ending, this is us already putting in the work, and I would say confidence is already built. So now we're out, like I said, we're out there again. We're ready, right? We're ready for that next relationship. And look, we're sitting on yes here with both my directional arrow. So again, I'm talking about so we must have made a decision. We have my directional arrow on yes. So again, reinforcement that was the correct decision for you. So your soul congratulating us. So wow, you put your best intentions first. You put yourself first, and you made the decision that was right for you. But I'll come back down here to my friendly crab here. Every time I see him, I always hear I just can't help it. Sebastian from The Little Mermaid, Kiss the Girl. Every time I see this, I see Kiss the Girl. He's got the smile on his face, and he's coming right below the heart and the yes. So if you've been wondering if you're ready, I've just started to feel good about myself and loving myself again. Am I even ready? Well, yes, you are. Yes, you are ready for that next relationship. It's also, I always reference the claws of the crab as just a gentle caution, which is don't let the past have an impact on you as you head into these new relationships. We need to let go of those influences. So no preconceptions. The next person's going to be completely new. Don't prejudge them. We got to let that go. But if we've already planted the seed, I think we're already well on our way. But here's a gentle caution to, don't slip back. You put in so much work to get into such a great head and heart space. Don't slip back. Stay true to your course here, right? Like I was saying, my directional arrow is all about don't deviate, get from point A to point B. Don't get distracted. Don't get influenced. You know how you want to approach this next step from the work you put in. So don't let friends or family influence you to date someone too soon for you, on your own timeline. If you're not feeling it and they say second chance and you're like, no, then it's no, or I guess I should say second date, third date. I'm going to go to my piggy here because it's kind of about, it's another caution. It's usually about overindulgence. Coming from the soul here. So maybe that's why there's multiple eyes. Our soul is always looking at us from all angles. And I just started talking about a caution about being influenced by others. So there could be an influence of overindulging. So dating around too much, overcommitting yourself at this time, maybe leaning in too much on self-appearance, like taking confidence too far. Don't go from confident to cocky. Don't go from confident to conceited. So that's sort of the message there when I get the little piggy. Just be careful that you're staying true to yourself. And like I said, we're not getting influenced here or overindulging and or getting obsessive in any one area either. Don't get obsessive with the dating apps and swipe for hours. Actually take time, read the profile, find a person if that's the route, or take the time to look at your current network, or maybe look at someone from the past that may have had a positive impact on you. A first love, a crush. We never know how our paths might cross again and bring the opportunity to be with that person again. I think I might be going to I'm going to go to the firefighters symbol here. This one's all about like heated situations. So far, this kind of storyline has been about making a good decision for you in terms of relationships, right? So, message from your soul, congratulations from walking away from a heated situation, right? We don't, only firefighters run to the flames, but they carry us out. So you carried yourself out, right? The soul, you carried yourself out of maybe a heated or difficult situation, difficult relationship. So congratulations to you. This could be, a lot of difficult divorces coming to the end, or finding a solution finally to child custody, right? Splitting of assets, if you bought a house together, kind of thing. So that represents here. But it's also about breaking down, right? They have their axes. They always have to, or not always, but sometimes they have to break down the door, or get in, right? Gain access, breaking chains to gain access to save. So you definitely broke down any barriers you had and what was keeping you in this situation, what was keeping you from moving forward in the fork of the road, right? You broke down that barrier that was keeping you at the standstill. So again, more kind of congratulations here from self, and more motivational speak, right? You've already planted the seed. Stay the course. The answer is yes. There is love out there for you. There is a positive relationship out there for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a love, but it could be companionship. It could be in the form of an animal. It could be in the form of a new friend, a new coworker. That just makes the environment more enjoyable. But definitely a focus of self on self here. Your soul to yourself. So then we have the star here, kind of as the last charm message before we head into the cards. And starfishes regenerate, right? I believe so, if I remember, school. So yeah, I believe they can regenerate a limb, right? They lose one. I wonder why I have regeneration on here. Maybe because we have the planting of the seed. I mean, if I'm completely wrong about the biology of a starfish, but there's many we all have many characteristics and traits and dimensions. That's what I'm trying to say. We have various dimensions, right? So we're constantly working on ourselves too, because it's a bit of a pinwheel kind of feeling that I want to do with that. I kind of want to twist it. It's kind of tiny, so it's hard for me to do. That's why I kind of want to do even the motion, kind of the curvature of the ends of this charm kind of gives you the sense of the little pinwheels that you can blow on as a kid, right? Those plastic pinwheels. So there's a lot of dimensions to you. So though we've conquered maybe lack of self-confidence, coming out of the heartbreak, feeling good and about ourselves and ready for this new love, fantastic. Now we get to move on to the next the next thing we need to work on, the next thing and the next thing, if there's any other areas that we need to work on, right? So this might be where the multiple eyeballs are coming from us. It's really just our soul looking at every dimension of us to see, is there anything else that's having impact on us? Have we conquered everything in this lifetime? What's left for us to become the best version of ourselves for the rest of the duration of our time here? So let's dive into the cards and see how they further elaborate on our dreams of, well, first of all, kind of, well, I guess they've already answered why eyeballs. I was going to say, why do I always see an eye? But they've already kind of answered it's ourselves looking at ourselves. Make sure they're all on the screen. Maybe I'll just move these for a second. Look how he's staying the course, right? Ignore the distractions, ignore the influences, and just stay the course. You chose the right path, so let's stay on that. Okay. This is my newness card, and we just said the planting here, the seed, the start of something new, and here we have the start of something new, right? The singular flower here and the angelic gold tones for me here. So and even a faded even start, positive start. So I was referencing past lives off the top. Maybe that's the connection here to a past life is in this life we made the decision. Maybe in past lives we did not make the best decision for self. And that's why in this life, they really want us to stay the course because, again, if we deviate, if we get distracted, right, get distracted with swiping and never saying yes, if we get distracted with ourself and overindulge in ourself and go beyond the positive to the negative trait, right, the various dimensions that we have, we'll miss that opportunity. And then we'll have to wait till the next lifetime to do this story again. And I think that's why the angelic candles here, because like I said, I just came from a past life reading. So we were just in the Akashic record. So here we have my angel candle reinforcing the message from the soul, which is we're all in agreement here. This is your chance. So this is our lifetime to conquer relationships, making sure that we are in a positive relationship for us. Our definition of a loving relationship, that's what we're going to exceed this lifetime. And the seed that we've planted here is our acknowledgement, and I think putting our foot down on the fact of nope, there's no there's no going back, right? Again, they're sailing forward, so there's no taking back. So if you're an individual like myself that came from, a pretty hurtful kind of cheating scenario, making the decision of, no more second chances. I think I said that at some point, didn't I, in this reading about no more chances? Like, I've made that decision now. Like, there's no more forgiveness in those kind of scenarios for me. That's not a positive relationship for me. That's not a definition of a love relationship for me. So the next one isn't going to be that way. But I don't think the next person I meet is going to cheat on me. So again, the caution there of preconceptions. Maybe I'll just go up here. We can cover the charms for a second. Look at all the abundance coming out of the tea, right? It's not a cup of tea, but it has all of the, the bounty of flowers coming out. You have the lemon slice in there. You have the petals all around the dish. Maybe some little blueberries maybe down there. Like just rich in flavor. It's almost alluding to, all of the beauty that is to be had when you're in a positive relationship, when you're in a positive environment, even like, because you're in a cup of tea here. So making sure that you're always making the right decision for you to keep you in positive environments, environments where you're blossoming, where you're growing, where you're supported, right? With, they're drinking the water from the tea here. They have the nutrients from the lemon and the berries in order to flourish and be the best version of you. So I definitely believe this group of individuals, those of us who've had the visit, I'm going to say these eyeballs, that the feeling of being watched is we've had a visit in our spectral dreamscape from ourself, that the angels facilitated here, so that we know that we just started off on this correct path for us, and they really do want us to stay the course here. So I'm going to do my best to, avoid any kind of overindulgence or influences from other people, because I'm quite happy in my positive. My new environment's very positive. I'm very happy. The people around me all make me happy. So this could even just be, if you've been debating, kind of sitting on or if you've been not sitting on the fence, but debating if you made the right decision of maybe terminating even just a close friendship, right? Sometimes we just grow apart from people. Not everybody is meant to be in our lifetime, the entire lifetime, but just a portion of it. And sometimes that portion is just to teach us our lesson, right? So that we can continue forward. So I'm going to do my best to not be scared the next time my soul decides to visit me as a orca whale and that close with that big of an eye. And I'm just going to try to see myself and see it as a visitation to deliver me this either nugget of wisdom or some positive motivation, sort of a cheerleading kind of vibe. Okay, so thank you to those of you that are still wide awake and for staying awake and with us for 30 minutes, unless you went to the notes below and clicked ahead to the chapter, which is fine. But yeah, so we're going to dive into why the heck are we wide awake here? I'll just move those out of the way for a second. I think I might actually be starting up there with my cheetah head. I was drawn to kind of visitation of love. And if you aren't coming, if you haven't watched the whole video, I was just talking about how the first group is having visitation from our own soul and the dreamscape, and a visitation of love. Well, our soul obviously loves us the most, but maybe we're staying awake because we were disturbed by this visitation. I did say I was profoundly shocked and scared, and now I'm going to do my best to not be scared. So maybe that's why I'm staying awake and I'm not allowing myself to go to bed, because maybe I'm scared by this visitation. So if it wasn't your soul that visit you, maybe you were scared because the eyes reminded you of someone you love. Maybe you just can't forget your grandma's vibrant green eyes, emerald eyes, or maybe someone you loved has very striking eyes. Like there's some talent out there where they have like this beautiful kind of bright caramel brown eyes. Some people have very striking blue or kind of purple bluish eyes. Very beautiful kind of hazel mixture of tones. So since we're going off eyes here, this person that wants to visit you or us, because I'm awake too, so I would say either has, like I was just describing, very, like you'll never forget their eyes. They're that memorable, that striking, or they're known for maybe wearing glasses or iconic frames. Like, some people just don't look the same with their glasses off. So this would be that kind of individual who wants to come and visit you and talk to you in your dreams and deliver you a message. Or they were known for their frames. So maybe they were very fashionable with their frames. Maybe they were very thick, prominent rims. Excuse me. See, I'm getting choked up. So maybe because we're not dreaming, these 4 cards will be the message from our loved ones, because we're not dreaming. So they're going to use this reading to come through and deliver the message. So we have a message incoming from a loved one that so far the common characteristic here, the telling characteristic for you to figure out who they are in your life is the eyes. A memorable eyes, or known for their, talking about their glasses or being known for their frames or wearing glasses is definitely a commonality with them. So the cheetah is about quickness. So I think this might be, maybe they're coming through the reading because we're not sleeping. Maybe they're trying to get a message to us like urgently. So if you came by this video, the reason why you're not sleeping and you're watching this video instead, or is because you need to receive this urgent message. They've been trying to deliver a message to us, visit us in our dreams to deliver this message. Now, what's sitting on something that's hidden from you? But if it's urgent, that means it's going to have impact. So we can't miss this message. Maybe they're about to allude to us about, red flags we can look for. I prefer to ask them for green flags, like give me symbols, like an arrow pointing saying yes, or a blinking light going, yes, this is the person for you. I'm sure all of us put those messages out there, like, I want a spotlight on the company. Like, yes, this is the company you should apply to. I feel like maybe the loved one's coming through to do that for us here. But they're coming in fast. Like I said, there's this urgency here with the cheetah. So we have urgency and then slowness, because my cat, this is my lazy cat, like my Garfield, if you will. And I'm wondering if this might be a caution to us to not take things too slow. Because it's sitting on big change, or take things slow. Actually embody my lazy cat here, which is be casual. So again, if this is connected to the first dream, like if this whole reading is for all of us, this change, so this would be a relationship here. Again, it could be an office relationship, whatever this new relationship that's coming in, this big change, they definitely want us to approach it slowly. Don't rush into things, right? And that's okay. right? We just rebuilt ourselves here. So it's okay to ease in. Again, if it's a new job, don't try to rush to impress. Just kind of, ease in, feel out the place, get to know people, get to understand the project. And I can see the urgency now because, this big change, we've already initiated it. So they have to get this message to us now. Still don't think like this reading is answering yet why we're awake though. Like obviously they want to talk to us, but why are we stuck awake? Big change related to the past. So we still have some commonality here with the first group. And so this is my DIY message. Again, fixing. We had fixing in the first group. Here we have fixing again. But this is like a strong dependency on others, or you tend to depend a lot on others, lacking confidence in self, and a reminder that you actually have everything you need. You don't need dad to fix it. Like dad taught you. Maybe he showed you how to do something. So instead of, like I love those insurance commercials right now where they kind of play off of this joke, right? Like, I don't have to call dad. I did this insurance quote myself, or I did this insurance claim myself. I didn't have to call dad. So maybe there was a big dependency, a big reliance on either, literally a father figure, or you're too dependent in a past relationship or place. So again, if this is a work environment, you were too complacent. You just allowed things to happen. So maybe you were too lazy. So a warning here about being too lazy, and don't just allow things to happen around you. Otherwise, like I said, the core message I'm really getting is to kind of slow down, don't rush in this scenario. You don't have to rely on others. You can do it, but don't rush, because you might get in a position of needing someone to come in and fix. So learn from the past, right? If you were someone who wouldn't stand up and take accountability in the relationship, accountability in this situation, now's the time for you to do it. You can't deflect or downplay your role. And then I have my shears, which are all about cutting the cord, the end to something, the need to let go and terminate. It's on the past. So again, definitely a common thread here about letting go of preconceptions, and that's something that you need to work on now, sort of this change. And maybe we think we're doing really good with it, but we haven't been successful yet, and there could be a chance that it'll flare up at the most inappropriate moment. Maybe within our first 30 days of a new job, or within the first 3 months of a new relationship, just not navigating it to the best of our ability, which we know we can, but then blaming it on, well, if I hadn't lost my father, or if I hadn't lost this relationship that I could confine in this person, or just again deflecting. Well, it never was, me in the first place. It was always another party, another person. So let's see kind of where this it feels more very heavy lessonly. So the fact that it's coming from that loved one, it feels very like finger wag, like, watch out, I know you and you know you. So, what's the saying? We can be our worst enemy. We can hold ourselves back. Oh, I put that one too low. Can't even see it. I'm trying to put the cards the way they kind of tell me here. There we go. Now we're all on camera. Okay. Very interesting layout here for the cards that they wanted. Sort of this four quadrant block here. So you know how I was saying, like, take it slow with this big change, and like look at the scale of the dragon, and of course the dragon's like spitting fire here. It's flying out the side of its mouth, and see how the young child here, the youth, is approaching slowly, right? Approaching with caution, entering kind of the dragon's environment here, saying, you know, how friendly is it? You know, what's the temperament? What's the lay of the land? Um, what kind of mood or state or frame of mind this person's in? So very much, I guess, even the yellow tones here, the cautionary tone here from the loved one of, you know, reading the room. Just sit back and observe. Like, look how patient. Like, I'm really, really leaning into the lazy cat here. How patient and just waiting and waiting and waiting. Even if this is related to a situation you're going through now, maybe you're in a disagreement, or maybe you're in a relationship where the other person, um, maybe they constantly want to be speaking. Like, you know, when you have the arguments with individuals and they never let you have the floor, they always speak over you, like really allowing them to just let it all out, like every last possible thing, just wait them out, wait them out, wait them out, and then you speak. So, you know, kind of, you know, if you can learn from this loved one, maybe they had that ability, and maybe you've made comments before like, oh man, I wish I knew how to handle situations like you did. And here they are, giving you the tip, the advice here of, well, I used to wait out the situation. You know, I didn't get pulled into what was going on. I assessed the landscape. I read the room. I got a good sense of who the person was or who the players were, right? Especially if you're coming into a new work environment, or maybe even a new relationship, like the family, the friend circles. You know, you kind of have to feel all that out before you become either too attached, right? Maybe you're someone that, again, that dependency, maybe you're someone that falls in love fast, or lets yourself get too connected to, or too reliant upon someone in a relationship quickly, and your loved one here wants you to slow it down this time. Make sure you take everything in before you give too much of yourself to this. I feel like the loved one here is also kind of warning us to some emotions that not quite are dealt with. Um, Emotions in the sense of the blue tones here that I'm seeing on the, I guess, the hedge, the the hedge of flowers, I guess. Um, you are on the other side, so I think it's more of a caution of like, you just conquered a pretty profound emotional state of mind, moment. You can easily fall back into that. I feel like this is a very fragile, kind of ceramic looking pony, that could easily be tipped. And if it fell, it'd be like Humpty Dumpty, right? A true ceramic, a vase, it would just crack in multiple places. So be careful. And the horse isn't running here. You know, it's standing there pretty true. So, you know, make sure you're aware of what success you just made emotionally, but that it's still very early days. So you're still quite fragile. You're still quite sensitive here. So again, this call to pause and wait before you rush in. So, you know, in a professional setting, this would be, you know, maybe you needed to take a leave of absence, or you took a period of pause between getting back out there in terms of replying and going through the interview process and getting a role. Like, this might be the first time back. You know, maybe it was a sick leave, a mat leave, a health leave, a period of unemployment, but you're just sort of getting back into the fold here, back into this kind of working kind of community, work setting. So kind of gentle footing here. You know what? I think the cards wanted to flow this way because it's a message of, if you do this, you achieve that. If you do this, you achieve that. So if we look at the hold your tongue, observe the situation, don't give too much of you into anything right now. And you wait out and observe, and you kind of test the waters, take another step forward, test the waters, take another step forward, sort of take a slow process, even as you see in the cards here. Even though he's continuing this methodical process, maybe it's figuring the secret to success to a positive relationship, secret to success in employment. Look at the beautiful, prosperous, abundant environment that they're in, right? Surrounded by the things that they love, doing what they love, finding their passion. So, making sure you find the right environment leads to the best possible version of you and the best environment for you as well, right? Being cautious and aware of where you're at emotionally, the progress you've made, because the horse is moving forward slowly, step by step, but progress allows you to unlock the success in love and connections, so kind of going hand in hand. And maybe that's why we're all awake. We're all stressing out, and maybe this duality, because there's always been this duality. So maybe both our personal and the professional version of ourselves have both been going through periods of struggle that are either connected here, right? Emotions from unemployment, emotions from relationships. But there's this sense of we've all started something new. And if we can calm ourselves and calm our emotions about the situation, one, we'll fall asleep. And, we have greater things waiting, beautiful outcomes waiting for us. I feel like I'm going to shuffle a little bit, see if I can get another, maybe a card each, or maybe a final message. I feel like this isn't really wrapped up. I'd also love to know more about who this loved one is and why they're stepping forward, why they're the communicator to us here. Maybe they're a more directly connected person, like maybe they have sort of a guardian relationship with us. So this could be someone who raised you, or someone who, a very significant adult in your childhood, like a teacher, an aunt and uncle. I don't think this would be a sibling, or I definitely feel like there's a pretty strong age gap here. Oh yeah, didn't I just say if we if we can calm down about sort of coming out of this turbulent time, like they're saying, maybe that's something that's hidden from you, is the big changes around the corner. So if you're someone that's currently stressing about your environment, your lifestyle, just isn't quite excuse me, what you've dreamed of it to be right now, like you're not happy with where you're at, but you've actually taken a positive step recently. So you might not be where you're at, or you thought you would be at. So, I'm in my early 40s. It's very easy for someone like me to look at everybody else in my network and in my family, my friends, and go, wow, well, they're in their 40s too, and they're living this kind of life. They don't want us to focus on that, right? That's a bad emotional space. So we've conquered that. So a lot of us have probably conquered that type of jealousy, that type of kind of self-oppression, kind of depressive mindset that we keep ourselves in. And so if we can stop stressing about whether or not things are going to get better, the recent decision I made, the recent job application I signed, this new environment that I just moved myself or maybe my whole family into, did I screw up? Maybe that's what's keeping us all up at night. The message here is no. you've you're heading down the right path. You've made, or you're about to make, all the right decisions. And so, try to get some peace of mind and get to sleep tonight so that you can go back to the dreamscape, and, your loved one, your relative, can continue to communicate to you and guide you and motivate you and support you from the soul realm here, through our dreams, through the signs that they're going to put into our present world, right? Look at them delivering, what did I say? Red flags, green flags, right? And here they come down, red, orange, green, yellow, into your present life to help guide us down this path as we go kind of frolicking here, kind of dancing into this better chapter. I really feel sort of the back chapter of the novel here, the third movie in the sequel in the series. Sorry, in the trilogy. I mean, we had our youth, and then you had, developing who you are, life learnings, and now maybe all of us that are awake are heading into the next sort of chapter of our life where now we apply all that. We apply our learnings from childhood, we apply our learnings from, harsh life lessons from early days. So, teenage years, 20s, 30s. So, the back half of our life here, the second half that we still have to go here, let's make sure we're enjoying and living the best life for us. We're manifesting our dream life, which, again, tie back to the dream, and that's what our loved one wants for us here. But to achieve it this time around, we got to be calm. There's definitely a strong message here about calmness. And again, I'm going to go tie back to whether this is your father, you were connecting to dad, or the fact that, you don't have to depend on anyone anymore. You put in the work yourself, and you can do this all on your own. You can manage through this big change. And maybe that's what's been hidden from us is, you get very vulnerable when you cut a cord, right? You actually feel like you're the weaker one, or you purposely threw yourself into a weaker situation, not realizing it's actually the better, stronger situation. So again, something that's hidden from you. So again, here comes the urgency of, this is the message you needed to hear now, you need to hear today from your loved one. So, if coming to this reading is allowing you to get the peace of mind to fall asleep, I hope you enjoyed meeting your loved one in your dreams and connecting with them and getting further messages from them directly. That's going to directly relate to, obviously, your specific scenario. Again, this one felt quite general, so there's a lot of us then that are up at night, but I feel like those of us that are staying awake, it's because there's a huge change to our environment that has both affected us physically, so our lifestyle, where we're living, where we're working, the circle of friends that we now have, the size of our network, or who's in it, as well as this relationship story, a big change from a relationship. So, like I said, leaving a relationship for the that wasn't positive, it wasn't a good environment for you, or leaving a work environment that wasn't good for you, or a period of a tough period that wasn't the best for you. So, where you took time to work on you. So, like I said, a health leave. Maybe you struggle with postpartum, so your mat leave was extra long, and that was a struggle that was difficult to get through, but you got through it. So this is great. So hopefully, I'll be able to get to sleep. Who knows if I'll upload these videos, or I'll actually just pass out now. I don't know. But I look forward to reconnecting with all of you that are benefiting from the dream analysis readings. I definitely enjoy these quite a lot. As someone that dreams vividly, I really enjoy being able to sit down and do collective readings like this with all of you, where I can actually get some answers from my own experience at the same time. So I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye, everyone. And sweet dreams. Let's get to sleep here. Let's have some sweet dreams.